Before we get into any questions, I just want to say, man, that woman say. Before we get into any questions, I just want to say, hey, let me tell y'all something. Hey, now I told y'all, Napheesa Collier is not the best player in the world. But let me tell y'all something. Scorched earth, hey, you talk about declare war on somebody? Woo! Woo! If you ain't seen it,
game.
Hey, let me if I send you this, just know I got something to say. I want to say, before we get to any questions, I just want to say, the leadership ain't nothing. You hear me? Woo! Hey, y'all hit the like and the share coming in here. Listen, y'all. Listen. If you haven't seen the exit interview, I ain't even seen the whole exit interview. I only watched the thesis part. She basically said what me and Lil been saying
for months.
We ain't just talking about basketball. We talking civil rights violations hiding in plain sight. So we've been up here pouring up cup after cup of this truth, and now we get to see it in plain sight. WNBA is bigger than wins and losses. It's about black women, the soul of this league, being degraded socially, exploited economically, and oppressed politically. And this ain't the first time we sound the alarm. We had political a little bit talking about it. We had CBA reckoning series, exposed exploitation baked into the contract, league profits off labor, while denying players their rightful share of basketball-related income. Remember, we was talking about BRI. We was talking about 10 of them. We want all 10. They giving up with it 3. And we ain't got time. Broke the sky. We dragged the Chicago's front office right into the light, Caroline. You hear me? No standardized facilities, unsafe workplace conditions, political oppression wired into the franchise. They've been running a 20-year con. Media coverage, we watched racist and sexist narratives recycled while the league look away. Whew! When that woman say, Caitlin better be glad, I said, oh, Napheesa, you better not get to telling that. Napheesa say, Cathy say, Caitlin better be glad she got a platform. What? Oh, no.
That's ridiculous. She sounds like a dude.
Woo! Hey, let me tell y'all something. I said, Napheesa. I sat down with her right across. She told the switch. Y'all saw her here. Yeah, I know what she did. I know that woman wasn't telling no. I know that woman wasn't telling no lies. She said, right there with her. What are you gonna do about it? Yes. Like that. So I opened and said, damn, I didn't think they did it that way. But we've been saying every step of the way, these ain't just sports stories, labor stories, civil rights stories, y'all. And if the leadership don't change course, it's in the Title VII. Civil rights battle has been, I think, probably longer than we've been talking about, right? Probably the 80s, 90s. But what we heard today makes no sense. That day is coming. So now the question is the WNBA and its players, are they headed to court to settle the new CBA? And I think it's inevitable from here. But we're gonna get through the spin and connect this fight to the bigger political playbook. I'm bringing in the truth teller herself, Political Lil. Talk to us about what we saw today.
Thank you, Cess. And family, thank you all for tuning in. But let's keep it 100. What we witnessed today in Napheesa Collier's prepared statement was not just players' venting frustration. It was the voice of organized labor, laying down the groundwork for a fight that may take place in the courts before it ever gets settled in the boardroom. And her words reveal what we've been saying for months. The league isn't protecting their players, it's protecting power. So when Collier stood up and detailed the neglect, injuries piling up, poor officiating, the lack of accountability, the hypocrisy of $1 billion TV deal alongside players paying out of pocket for training, is nothing more than a cover for structural exploitation. And make no mistake, it's black women who carrying the heaviest weight in this exploitation. So here we are. Instead of moving forward with a fair deal, this league is inching towards a lockout by the owners or a strike by the players. And if things keep going this way, we might not see a WNBA season in 2026, but a major showdown. See, this is greed dressed up as business, exploitation disguised as a strategy. And it's shaping up to be one of the most important labor issues of our time. And we've been saying that almost on every show we've been doing.
Y'all know I like to say read the room. She just stepped to the mic for a soundbite. Napheesa Collier stepped up there into her role as a truth teller. And is she the president or vice president of WNBA?
I think she's the vice president.
What did you? Okay.
Vice president.
She said the real threat to the league isn't the money, it's the lack of accountability. Because we know the money there. We called out all the money we called out. That was a direct shot at the league office. That was a direct shot at Cathy. We exposed the elephant in the room, which is the league is being driven by, not by vision, but by denial and dismissal. And so that, and the denial has history in the sense that for officiating, let's take it with more injury. That's not bad management. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's what's going on in the dub for right here. And that's also the same thing as the long pattern that we've seen of black labor being exploited. So, just started, but these leaders are running a play like straight from exploitation handbook. That's what we've been saying. Maximize the profit, minimize the accountability. And the black women being told to be grateful. Not only the black women, Caitlyn better be grateful too. All the women better be grateful, according to Cathy. Shit, man, listen, they better thank they lucky stars while playing under conditions that no white male workforce in America would ever face, ever. So we got to be clear. Collier's words weren't complaints. They were the indictments of the WNBA leadership culture. Indicted. The WNBA leadership culture was indicted today. And to cut straight in, let's I got some questions, Lil. When you hear Collier talk about accountability and leadership failure, are you seeing this as the beginning of the civil rights case under Title VII, or is this is this that last plea before the players take a drastic action?
You know what? I see it as both a legal signal and a labor warning. You know, Collier is naming conditions that meet the definition of a hostile work environment under Title VII. And this could absolutely be the grounds for a civil rights case. But at the same time, her tone kind of made it clear that this is the breaking point. If the league won't fix itself, the players are prepared to escalate, whether that means striking, being locked out by leadership, or just taking the fight to court. And if I was picking one, I say take the fight to the courts.
Why do you pick the courts? Why you say take it to the court?
Because sometimes you just can't get a hustler to come around. You can't get a cheater to come around. Okay. You know, like we said in the last program, hustlers only concerned about profit and losses. And so the civil rights that we have won in this country has mostly not been won by marching in the streets. They actually been won through the courts. And so with me seeing sports as a new civil rights battleground, of this century, I think that they already been advised by the political apparatus of the Women Caucus to take it to the streets. I mean, you have to act like you negotiating in fairness, or you trying to come to the table, this, that, and the other. But if I was betting on them women in the Women's Caucus of Congress, who some of them probably on the Justice, Civil Rights, Justice Committee and stuff like that, I think they've been advised to just go ahead and take it to the court. That's the only way you're gonna get disclosure of the books. And what's been going on in the 30-year period. I don't think settling with them, and they still on some bullshit about paying them out of 3 sources of income, and we'll pay you a dime more after 3 sources. No, I want all of the sources of revenue paid. I think with that going on, and the fact that it's the visibility, this is huge. This is huge. The attention on it is huge, and it has so so many implications in this political climate for other industries, that are dominated by women. I think they're gonna prepare for a battle in the courts. I don't see it being settled.
Okay, we appreciate y'all pulling up in the chat. Hit the like and the share. They both right there. Five of y'all share this out for us. Share it in the chat. Let us know you pushed it out, man. Let's have this conversation. Secondly, though, Lil, how does Collier's call out fit into the larger story that we've been tracking, right, across our Polysports Tea Time, hashtag respect her game, the system of exploitation where black women and shit, based on what we heard today, the women in general in this league, but the black women have been carrying this league but treated as if they're disposable.
You know what? That call out by Collier, that's just living proof that the story exists. Black women are generating the talent, the culture, and the revenue that keeps this league alive. And they have been doing so for the last 2 decades. Yet the leadership acts like they expendable. That's why we constantly been crying about, them running the thing like they running a sharecropping arrangement on a plantation. And see, it mirrors the broader history of black labor in America. Celebrated when convenient, devalued when it comes to power and pay. And so her words show that what we've been documenting is really not abstract. It's happening in real time to real women. And now that she done put them on Front Street, we didn't have the reach to put them on Front Street because they should have been on Front Street based on what we put out. League can't deny it anymore. They've been exposed.
So let's frame this through the lens of civil rights. I don't know if people like civil rights. Civil rights, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act 1964, because that one is the one that protects workers from discrimination based on race, sex, and more. It also covers hostile work environment where negligence, unsafe conditions, and harassment, they're not tolerated, right? That's not acceptable, I should say, under the Civil Rights Act, because a hostile work environment, you're subjected to hostility, and it's crazy because it could be like in your face hostility, and it could be kind of under the surface hostility. It comes in so many different ways. But when you apply that to the WNBA, the issues that Collier raised aren't just basketball concerns; those are potential civil rights violations. When players describe officiating that puts them at risk, leadership ignoring injuries, and the commissioner dismissing concerns, that's not poor management. That's a hostile work environment. Layer in the unchecked racism from the fan bases and the racial targeting of black players treated as profit. That's dangerous, and we really get unlawful under Title VII. So now let's look at hiring. Black women with Hall of Fame resumes got overlooked and pushed out. Meanwhile, friends and family of exes, it was a lot of nepotism going on with no basketball background laying prime jobs. We see people failing forward. You didn't do so good as a head coach, just try being the general manager. You didn't do so good as a head coach over here, go be an assistant coach over here. And when it blocks qualified black candidates, it's discriminatory hiring. It's the same story that we've been calling out. Whiteness center, black excellence sideline. In the media, when the league does nothing while racist and sexist narratives degrade black stars, that shapes the workplace too. Imagine going to work knowing leadership not only refuses to protect you, but fuels the spin to put you in danger. That's not just disrespect, y'all. That's a civil rights violation, period. So how does framing these issues under Title VII shift the power dynamic, Lil? Does it move the player's struggle from labor negotiations into the realm of civil rights law, or more off base here? What you got?
Framing this under Title VII completely changes the battlefield. A labor fight can be spun as players just want more money, but a civil rights case reframes it as a legal and moral demand for equality and protection under federal law. So that shifts the balance of power because it's no longer just some bargaining table action. It becomes a matter of justice in the courts where leagues can't hide behind no PR slogan.
So what's the risk of for the league if players actually pursue the legal route instead of just a traditional CBA fight? What's that risk?
Hey, the risk for the league is massive. A Title VII complaint would expose systemic racism, sexism, unsafe conditions to public scrutiny, and that could damage not only their reputation, but also their business relationship with sponsors and broadcasters. and it can force structural reforms that owners have resisted for years. So in short, the league risks losing control of the narrative and being held accountable in ways money and media spend can't shield them from. Once a court order can, wind up putting you behind bars, and you don't want none of that.
Y'all let us know in the chat. Absolutely. Let us know in the chat. Do you think the WNBA is just mismanaging, or do you see it as really violating civil rights like me and Lou are talking about? Let us know in the chat. Mismanagement or civil rights? I'm interested. I'm curious to see where people land on this. And while we wait to catch our answers in the chat, let's talk money. Because see, money always tell the truth. They always say, well, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. We can't even follow the money because they won't open up the goddamn books. We can't even see the money. But we know they collect the money. Every time we look up, they just announced a new TV deal now. They're going to have games on USA now. USA Network got game. Prime got network. Prime Network got game. Ion got game. It's game everywhere. It's games everywhere and nowhere. Everybody getting rich off the fans. Everybody got in on the con.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay for a stream to stream the game on, and then it's a game on every night. And I got to pay a streaming platform to watch every one of these things. Because even if I buy the league pass, all the games ain't even on there. So everybody's getting rich. But the product is getting watered down, and the fans are paying the bill. They like to hide behind this word sustainability. That's their excuse for underplaying players. But when they cry broke, they sell a franchise for $300 million. Valhalla is valued at over close to $500 million.
Yeah.
So how can you be broke on payday but cashing out in the boardroom? It's money in the building every day except on payday. When it's time to cut the checks, I don't know where the money is. Money? What is that? Money? They got a fresh multi-billion-dollar TV deal in.
And still adding on.
Absolutely. So that's not sustainability. This is the exploitation that we're talking about. Here's the kicker. Owners stack millions. Players front their own off-season training and medical care. Think about that. You ain't even got to put no professional development into this league. At least at your job, they take you two times a year and put you in a room with some of your friends, and y'all can reminisce and eat some donuts, and they give you a coffee. Somebody get up there and talk with a PowerPoint. You know what I'm saying? They call it professional development. Send your ass on. They ain't even doing that in the WNBA. They say get your own. We not here for none of that. Some of these players can't even afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Some players can't even afford it. What blew my mind today, I was today years old when I found out that it's officials making more money than the rookies. Oh gosh. The officials making more money than the rookies? Everybody's getting rich off these women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
So when you got a set of players who are valued differently and are able to be able to afford the training and the self-care and the medical care, right? And then you have those that can't. You kind of create two tiers of workers in this one league with the same job description. Everybody got the same job description. You better believe it. It's not just unfair, but that's dangerous because you're risking the health of the very labor force that generates the revenue. Any other industry would already be in court. Think about that. That's like what they used to do going into mines. That'd be like every other person get a hard hat. That's how they said in the WNBA. Every other player get a pair of tennis shoes. What the hell? Every other player get a pair of shorts. The rest of y'all just playing in your jeans. Think about that. Here's the history. Plantation economics 101, y'all. Exploit black labor, extract value without fair compensation, control the narrative of gratitude. Same pattern here. Black women generate the product, the culture, the revenue, but the system is built so wealth flows up and out of their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't be fooled by the PR spin. Sustainability isn't about making the league survive. It's about ownership staying rich while the players survive on scraps. That's the labor issue at the core. They don't want to share it. They've been getting all the money for so long. They greedy asses don't want to let nobody in at the table. 30 years. 30 years is not long enough for you to not share. Open up the books and we may be talking about back pay.
Reparations.
Open up the books and you may find out your favorite basketball player played for less than minimum wage their whole career. On top of the fact you got to figure out your own way. And don't even get me started. Lil, when you hear the sustainability rhetoric, do you see it as just a corporate spin or as part of a deeper system of exploitation rooted in America's labor history?
Well, it is part of a deeper system of exploitation. That sustainability language often masks how labor, especially the labor of Black women, has been systematically undervalued throughout American history. And so it frames profit extraction as moral or ethical, while continuing the same pattern of economic oppression under softer social, acceptable labor.
Imperial, you can't run an audit if the books ain't open. you can't run an audit if the books ain't open. Lil, how do we connect the players' fight for fair pay and workplace protections today with the larger story of Black women being systematically underpaid and undervalued in every industry?
The players' fight is really a continuation of a long history where Black women work is exploited and uncompensated. That goes from domestic work to corporate and your professional sector. Black women have been denied equitable pay and protections, and today's struggle in sports reflects the same structural inequity. So it's showing that the demand for fairness in athletics, that's just part of a broader battle, against systemic economic injustice that we have just continually faced. That's why it's so important, that this be done right. We got to get this right, regardless of what kind of fight it takes. This is not something we can let go, because it'll be centuries and centuries and probably centuries before we get a chance to make that correction again.
Oh, this doesn't get corrected. It's baked in at this point. If they don't fix it now, it's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money in it right now. This is the golden era. If they don't fix this right now, this is the way it stays forever. If you had to describe, and I'm talking to the chat, if you had to describe the WNBA sustainability excuse in one word, what would it be? What is the one word you would use to describe their sustainability excuse? Let's see. Let's see what some of the comments in the chat. I don't know if my intuition is right, but I'm fearing the narrative of players now side with CC. She's the messiah of the WNBA. If it wasn't for her, people wouldn't be speaking out. I don't think so. I think CC. Listen, CC's got such an image issue right now. That I don't even think that she's even thinking that far. Right now, CC's trying to figure out how to get back on the floor as CC and try to still be a cash cow. With Indiana going further and further in the playoffs, it's like, oh goodness, it's just she got a lot of problems. But I get where you're coming from. Cathy is the first commissioner. Before that, there were the presidents. I didn't realize that. Protect the youth. What's good? Cynthia Cooper and her Nike deal. She played overseas for Italy and Spain. Mo Mac, what's good, fam? Dallas Chef was good. Dinah Taurasi went to Russia for her money. Yeah, Dinah went to Russia. Becky played in Russia. WNBA Orange is to honor Pat Summitt and the Lady Bowls. Okay. Officiators got to get paid enough to keep their mouth closed about the fix. Oh, goodness. But they ain't even getting paid enough. They don't get no professional development, and they ain't even full-time employees. They out there getting a contractor 1099. So that's the other problem. If you want them to be invested, then invest back in them. The best way is to have an entire league. Before, as we said, we got a video out there where we say you want to fix the refs, hire them full time. Give them a real salary. Give them professional development. Give them transparency. Give a 2-minute report at the end of the WNBA games. Tell us what was missed. Tell us what happens when they continually make the same mistakes over and over again. Let us know what that is. Is it just a mark in a folder? Do they get demoted? Do they not get to ref in the playoffs? Because what everybody was yelling about yesterday was Cess, they went over there and messed up the game in Minnesota, and their reward was catch this red eye and going down here to the other game and see how you can muck that up too.
Oh.
So and y'all know I'm not a referee person. My thing is forget the rest. It's 5-on-8. But I do understand that for the quality of the product that is on the floor right now, and for the potential that the WNBA has right now to be able to make money off women's basketball, it definitely warrants a real investment into the product. And they haven't been pushed to have to make a real investment in this product in 30 goddamn years. They ain't had to buy. They haven't had to buy a facility. They ain't had to buy no real uniforms. They ain't had to have no lockers. They ain't had to have no referees. They ain't had. This is the most. Hey, you talk about what they say low overhead. You talk about the most low overhead ass professional league I'd never seen. Nobody is full time here except the executives, and that shit's ridiculous. The people that are the product that are on the floor are the lowest paid people on the totem pole. Make that make sense. In any other professional league, does this shit work like that? No. No. Think about if Steph Curry was running out there and the ref was making more than him. And Steph the one out there night and making 9 and 29, 7 threes all over the goddamn place. Think about that. This is why they don't want to open up the books. This is why they don't really want no private people into the club. Because they know once the outsiders really get in the club, the jig is up.
Mm-hmm.
People is going to be coming in the door like, this what y'all been doing for 30 years? Man, how? Y'all been robbing the public. That's why they don't want no real private people in there. They real selective about, we don't want your 400 million. We don't need that. What you doing with that 50 million though? Because you'll do what we say. Come here. Let me talk to you. See, you got to watch that. Mr. Common Sense was good. So this is crazy. Becky Hammond is the first woman to coach in the NBA. No, she's not. Actually, the first woman to sit in the NBA, even though she was just a volunteer assistant coach, is actually Boyer down there sitting next to Dawn in South Carolina, Columbia. But check out my story on Boyer. It's called OG. She was the one before Becky and all them. It was Lisa Boyer, but that's a story for another time. Here's the political climate and fan mobilization. Let's talk about that. Let's deal with the politics that's shaping the league, right? This isn't happening in a vacuum. Cathy Engelbert has allowed racist MAGA fuel fandom around Caitlin Clark. She's allowed that to flourish. Her excuse was the league's making money. That's dangerous. It degrades the black and brown women who built the league. It weaponizes race against them, and it puts their safety at risk. Under Title VII, tolerating harassment is a civil rights violation. Collier called it out. Leadership won't check the fans, won't admit injuries come from unchecked physical play, won't show basic concern for player humanity. At the same time, they lie about pay while blocking a real share of basketball-related income. Shit. Napheesa say you get hurt, Cathy ain't even gonna call you.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't care.
Ain't even gonna call you. So you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And it doesn't stop there. That's why the transparency and revenue sharing matters. Because without the sunlight, then the exploitation hides in the shadows. Facilities are inconsistent. Some players get world-class staff. right? And then other people are trying to get ready for the playoffs with a birthday party going on at the same time on the floor. Okay, this is real stuff. Others are left patching themselves together. That's negligence, not professionalism. They talked about having to get their own place to stay at times. Courtney talked about the first time she went to the finals, they made $3,000. $3,000 for going to the finals. Treating half your workforce as disposable creates a hostile work environment by design. And the truth is that the fans, like, we're not powerless. Advocacy can be the third wheel that forces the accountability, that gets the books open. If the leadership don't listen to the players, maybe they listen to the sponsors. That means pushing sponsors to stop profiting off black labor while tolerating anti-black fan culture. It means backing public campaigns that expose racialized narratives. And it means lifting up the hashtag respect our game movement. And it means refusing the politics of illusion the commissioner keeps selling, y'all. We ain't here for the magic show. We ain't here for the magic show, just the facts, ma'am. Lil, how can fans use their advocacy, their voices, their campaigns, their dollars to become the leverage that forces the league to respect these women?
Well, the truth of the matter is that fans hold the real power, of course, when they organize collectively. And by using their voices, creating campaigns, and directing their spending towards team players and sponsors who support equity, they can create financial and reputational pressure that the league cannot ignore. Because nobody's going to ignore a dollar. You know, fans become the leverage when they align their advocacy with visibility, tangible actions, and make them respect these women, both as a moral, consequence and, economic necessity for the league. You just, as a fan, you cannot buy tickets and clap along. If you really love the players, then you have to demand that they treat it right. Fans need to put on t-shirts and, treat the players right and let these people know I'm not going to spend my money to see somebody be exploited, misused, abused in the press, without you giving any attention to it. That's not an effective way to spend your money, because that makes you part of the lynch mob. There were people that came to lynchings, for the entertainment. Shows me that's what you support, and so it's the same thing here. You have to stop supporting the exploitation, or it's going to, it filters down. It's going to wind up having to you on the job. If labor does not get together, this country is going to be an ugly place to be. Labor needs its own party. You need to stop playing with one party and stop playing with the other, because they both the same, doing the same thing. They both exploiting the labor, and the labor has no representation. Just going back and forth and back and forth. So only collective action is going to matter. And this is why we put together fan kits for you all to be able to, easily, move into action. It's up to us to get these ladies across the finish line. I just don't believe it's three parties in the fight. It's the league, it's the player, and the fans. And it's going to be up to the fans who have the most leverage, actually, to withhold their dollars. And neither party wants that. If we don't move, we sit around, then they're going to figure, hey, they loving this exploitation. This has been going on. They still clapping along. We got to knock that off. It's too much at risk, and this is a labor dispute.
Yeah, the league needs to understand. Nobody coming to see y'all, Otis.
Really?
That ain't what we out here for. We out here for the players. But what does it look like if Respect Our Game and the fan base decide to go beyond social media and start applying real financial and political pressure on league sponsors and partners?
You know what? Going beyond social media means turning awareness into action. Then we start, tapping on the shoulder and boycotting sponsors, redirecting our dollars to supported brands, attending games selectively, lobbying politically, and, soliciting corporate allies. That kind of pressure going to hit the league where it counts, the bottom line and the public image. When fans leverage their collective economic and political influence, it forces the league and its partners to make concrete changes or risk losing both revenue and credibility. And I don't really think that they want that. It would be terrible to go, 30 years and then turn around and lose your product over some greed. but that seemed to be where they headed, because they think the fans are asleep. They don't believe fans are educated. They didn't look how Collier was talking about how, I'm not a fool. Don't disrespect me. I done ran the league. I know what they look like. So these women are educated. They have degrees in areas of finance, marketing. I mean, you looking at people like Reese out here. Shit, if they hired her to be the marketer of the league be exploding by now globally. So
do you know how many Fortune 500 companies will be looking to hire Reese and her marketing skill set if she wasn't in the WNBA? Like, it's a blessing and a curse that they made them have to finish college or be so far out of college, because the majority of them went on and got a degree. Mm-hmm. So you're dealing with a league of educated women. These ain't just dumb jocks, right? And that's not a knock. That's not a knock on anyone, but I say that to say the way some of these leagues started. Like, you think about the NBA when it first started. I don't think people really realized, especially like here in Michigan, people were still going to Fisher Body. People were still going to the plant and working and then pulling up to be on the NBA team. They had day jobs. They were smoking cigarettes and drinking beers at halftime. Do you understand what I'm saying? They weren't professional players. So for this league to be where it's at 30, it says a lot. It says a lot, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and they cut a lot of corners that they didn't have to cut. Mm-hmm. And this is the time to fix those things. So when they get to be 75, when they get to be 150, we're not having to worry about a Rooney Rule. We're not looking like the NFL. We're not looking like the NBA saying, where is the path? What is the career path to being an executive in this league? What is the career path to being a coach in this league? What is the career path to me when I finish as a player being an owner? How do I learn the back office stuff? What are those internships and those opportunities that you're putting in inner city and in black and brown neighborhoods for those young children to have, for those young people to have opportunities and generational wealth that doesn't require them to put on a jersey and tennis shoes, where they can create generational wealth with a suit and tie on? Where are those opportunities? Because the only opportunity in these sports leagues ain't just being a player, being an owner. Mm-hmm. So ecosystem, being a collaborative, the entire ecosystem, everything that you needed, everything that you could think of, the NBA got to buy, from toilet paper to trash bags, and everything in between. So all of that stuff has to be done. Danny D, I appreciate you reposting the stream. I guess so. Let me be clear. Players shouldn't just be fined for speaking their truth. They should be fighting for their rights. I don't even understand how you get. Now they're gonna find this woman for free speech. What did she say that was wrong?
That's political. What did she say that was
disrespectful? I'm gonna fine you because you didn't say what I want you to say. But I've been telling you this behind closed doors for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 5 years now, however long it's been, however long she's been having these conversations. So now I'm going to take the risk and pay the bill to get this out in the open. The challenge that the WNBA is going to have, that it's not going to be a fine big enough for you to put on these players. Mm-hmm. In a minute, they're going to come in with more money that you're going to pay. Man, listen, I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times what you going to pay me this year in my bank account already. And then when you allow the disrespect and the mocking of the fines by certain players in the league, that looks even crazy. Mm-hmm. But I'm supposed to respect that? Come on now. Y'all find that woman, she told y'all, ha, so what about your fine? And we're going to be even louder when you see us again. Mm-hmm. We know the WNBA been cooking them books. What's up, IMSO Media in the building? What's happening? This generation of WNBA players are going to pull this league into modern era, kicking and screaming, whether they like it or not. These women are smart, skilled, and coming in from college with brands there's about to be a major shift in the dub because they are being exposed thanks to social media, content creators, and their voices. Yeah, you know what? Or the WNBA will look up and there'll just be a framework.
Yeah.
Their whole infrastructure be gone. Yeah, because all they need is a place to play right now. It ain't but about 200 of them you got to get together. They got a group chat for that.
Zoom.
You know what I'm saying? Quick Zoom meeting, Google Meet. You know what I'm saying? FaceTime.
And the fans definitely gonna go see them. They come see the leadership.
I just looked at. They just moved the Final Four. They just moved the Final Four from the regular arenas to where they playing now. Hold on, let me make sure I say this right here. Hold on. They moved it to Lucas Oil Stadium. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? The women's Final Four is going to be played in a football stadium. Y'all know how much money they making off them? But ain't no money.
Stop playing.
Come on, y'all. Ain't no money. That move added 13,000 seats. $13,000 seats for the 2028 Women's Final Four. But ain't no money in this. Ain't no money in this.
Ain't what the investment house is saying. It's all kind of money in women's sport.
Man, the Midwest fans gonna be in there. The Midwest fans is ready. Did you see how they showed up with the pink? Listen, listen. Indiana will never be the same after the stud buzz came through there. Do you hear me? It'll never be the same about basketball anymore. They're a different place now. This is 2028. That's Final Four. She's not playing in that. They can't rig it for her for that one. Period. If they do that, we know something is up. She's not in college. But like I was saying, the player shouldn't be fined just for speaking their truth. The league has been allowed to treat black women like they are disposable while cashing checks off their talent, their culture, their labor. And that's a civil rights issue. If the leadership of this league is not going to listen to reason, they'll have to listen to a federal complaint, as far as I'm concerned. So Title VII exists for a reason, to protect workers from exactly this kind of hostile, discriminatory environment. At the end of the day, fines and the PR spin don't solve this. Accountability has to solve it. Accountability comes when you take your fight past the boardroom into the courtroom, where the truth can't be hidden behind buzzwords like sustainability. Lil, your thoughts?
Says she was exactly right. Filing a Title VII complaint with the EEOC isn't just a legal move, it's a political one. And it says to the world that this isn't about spoiled athletes asking for more. This is about the workers demanding dignity, safety, and equity under the law. And if the league wants to keep pretending otherwise, they'll let the court sort it out. The players can't fight this alone, y'all. This is why we here. Content creators and y'all. It has to be collective pressure that comes to bear. And so the fans, social media platforms like CessTalksSports, allies, and the movement we create and respect their game, that amplifies the voices of these women. Sponsors need to feel that heat, and owners need to feel the cost. And the league needs to face the reality. You can't build the future of basketball on the backs of black women while denying them their humanity. And if you won't change voluntarily, then pressure, legal, political, and financial, looks like the only way forward. And I think we headed, in that direction.
So, Lil, I got a question. Because we keep saying Title VII case. What does filing a Title VII complaint entail? Does it cost money? Are you filling out a form? Are you just getting a lawyer? Can you shed some light on what that actually means?
Well, it's a you go to the Equal Opportunity Commission, you file your complaint. Now, let's keep some things in mind. Everybody that files a complaint doesn't get heard. But if you can prove that you got a group and that there's a long existing pattern, it's affecting a certain group, and that's the group that's protected under Title VII, then the government actually will bring that case. And so will it cost you money? Absolutely not. It will not cost you money if the government says, yes, we're going to bring this case against this corporation. Then your taxpayer dollars, kind of pick it up from there. But if they give you a right to sue, which means that they don't feel like it's enough for the federal government, to bear the cost of picking up the case, or you might be an individual, because they always will take a case of a group more seriously than they will an individual. But if you're an individual, you feel like you still got some fight in the game, they'll give you a letter that allows you to go sue in a civil court, and then that cost will be on you. Like in the case of Hambry, that case expense is going to fall on her because the feds didn't take it. But if the federal Department of Justice takes that case, then it's the people versus the WNBA, and the government got loan money. Their money don't never run out. WNBA, I don't believe that's a fight they're gonna want to have, because the disclosure of everything involved is probably something they want to keep under wraps. And see, you can't BS the government, because they go to the IRS and look at, let's take a look at what you filed, as far as your taxes. Was you writing off too much? This, that, and the other. Now you adding another agency, and another problem. But I believe they're trying to get away with it because they think, because we under this white grievance political climate, and he throwing out executive orders left and right. Everybody think they can pull everything. But when you got Congress is a powerful body, and when you got Congress and them women in Congress, they something else. But when you got a whole women caucus consisting of black, brown, and every other persuasion and color in that group coming at you, who got access to the Department of Justice, and they start looking up the crack of your behind on a whole lot of sides of the aisle. I don't think you really want that entanglement. So I think that, but I still feel that they won't get the movement they need without filing a Title VII complaint.
So, okay, and I agree. So, how strategic? I thought it was a beautifully planned, because I feel like, and I'm with you, 85 Fly. He used the biggest microphone today, right? That was strategic. She knew everybody was looking. Everybody gonna want to know what I got to say, especially the way that the season ended, right?
Exactly.
Everybody want to know. They expected her to come and be like, and I don't know if she even got to that part where we can be back next year, and if I wouldn't have got hurt, and if we don't get all of that, get all of that. That woman stacked that paper up. She said, hey, before we get to any questions, okay, I got to prepare a statement. Let me let y'all know. And so I was excited to see that, because it let me know that there's still more to come. I think that people knew. I think that there were players that knew that this was coming. I think this was really, really, really strategic. Me, I wish that every WNBA player, past, present, that's not playing in the playoffs will show up at one of these games with that open the books shirt on, all of them together in one. Just here we are. But again, and I want to highlight, because and people are going, some people are going to take it like, oh, I can't believe you're talking about Napheesa in a positive way. Here's the thing, I tell you all the time, I give credit where credit is due. And I told y'all last night, it's interesting that this statement came out last night, because I told y'all that I don't think that Napheesa is an MVP in this league, but there were plenty of other things that we should be celebrating Napheesa for creating equity, creating ownership, creating this lane, creating this opportunity, putting her name out there. These are the things. And then she does this today. These are the things that we need to be celebrating her for. These are the things that we need to be calling her out for. And these are the things that we need to be standing behind her on. So I hope that all of y'all that can hear my voice, that was in my chat talking about MVP and all of that, stand 10 toes down with her on this right now. Right now, stand 10 toes down on this right now with her, right? And it's not, and understand, I don't have a dislike for her. She's not the best player. I can't give her that, but I can definitely give her this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big time.
I can definitely give her. But not only just this, just Unrivaled. The partnership with Stewie, being able to see the need for this those years ago during COVID, right? Like putting these things together, like those are the things that you say, damn man, this is being the change that you want to see in action. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I am so excited to hear what Satu and them have to say the very next time. Satu and Copper. Oh gosh, I can't wait for them two to get a microphone in front of their mouth after this. I can't wait to hear what they got to say. So she good. She just was born to you. Yeah, she's not for everybody. Everybody don't bring you to the everybody don't bring you to the TV. Everybody game don't bring you to the TV. You know what I'm saying? You know, I get you, because LeBron's game doesn't bring me to the TV. Game 5 is here, but we were talking about refereeing solutions or how Cathy treats players. This is a marketing plot highlight Unrivaled. Where's the solution? It's not about a solution, and this is bigger than that. This is about a labor fight. You didn't watch the full press conference, but I did hear the first question after Fee's opening statement. Fee asked her if would have won the championship, would she still make the statement? If he said yes, I've been waiting to talk. Yeah, so she came in and said from the gate, this ain't about losing. This ain't about that. This is about this is about us being devalued, undervalued, disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
This is about, and like she said, we don't know if we even have all of the solutions, but we can't even get to the solution because you won't even admit that it's a goddamn problem. And that was what Fee said. She said we're not even asking them to have the solution right now. We can come together and figure out a plan for what we're gonna do, but y'all won't even say it's a problem. That's a big problem. You won't even acknowledge that there's a problem. And people been saying the same thing about you for 20 years. What that mean? That's who you is. This is about holding a league accountable that has continuously failed its players. I told y'all, this is like walking each of the. This is how off everything is in this league. This is how the equity is in this league. This is how they handing out safety and facilities in this league. Every fourth person got the correct pair of basketball shoes to play in. Everybody else is playing in them. You know the little patent leather shoes you see the girls wear to the quinceañeras and everything. You know the little patent leathers. Everybody else playing in patent leather shoes out here, y'all. This is about getting to the bottom of it. This is about opening up the books. This is about setting a standard. This is about making the league grow up and be professional. Think about this. If you had to just go see your favorite Major League Baseball player just at the high school baseball field.
Yeah.
Think about that for real. If you could just go on down to the Y and work out with LeBron now, and then you go to work and he go play on TNT.
That's how crazy it look.
Benzino, the people in Game 5 don't give a fuck about Game 5. They're happy that she made the statement too. Nah, she shouldn't have said it tomorrow. She should have said it when she said it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't as many eyes watching tomorrow. So yeah, the entire statement, I get your view, and I totally disagree with that. This was about exacting power. This was about leverage. Asian them ain't worried about, man, she took the spotlight off us. Asian them is like, that's right. Put it out there. Let people know. It needed to be said now, so that when the people get to the game tonight, they looking at people's side eye.
Exactly. Put them on front.
So that when they do step out there tonight, that they that when they do step out there tonight and they complaining about them refs, that they know that there's some players on the bench right now that ain't gonna get the same, that ain't even gonna make as much as the refs on the floor right now. But I'm the product out here. So yeah, you say it now. You don't say it tomorrow when ain't nobody listening. What kind of suck ass shit is that? Exactly. I'm gonna say it when the mic in my face, when the sun up. Wait and whisper it. Ain't no fucking sucker. What you mean? I'm gonna say it right now. And again tomorrow. Until you answer. But right now, everybody looking. Everybody here. Everybody here. Right. Before we get to any questions, listen to this. Now what? What we talking about?
She lit them up.
I declare war.
Mm-hmm.
Like worried about game 5. And they're out here talking about player safety. They out here talking about the league won't even acknowledge injuries. And you worried about somebody taking the shine off game 5? If I didn't have a player out there that I liked, I would cut game 5 the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
That's how mad I am about what I heard Napheesa say today. But if it wasn't Asia out there, if it wasn't Aaliyah out there, if I didn't want to show support for them, I'd cut the goddamn game off. Period. But see, as fans, we're going to have to decide. Yeah, Collier would have said this if Cheryl Reeves hadn't acted like that. Man, hey, I can't wait. Yeah, we can get into it. Nah, this ain't no playbook. This ain't no payback ass shit. You better do some more research. Because you sounding a little reckless on this one. And I ain't used to that from you, fam. You sounding reckless on this, though.
Hold on a minute.
Napheesa wasn't going to say nothing? This just payback about what?
But
you sounding reckless, fam. You might want to Google. You might want to go watch some of my goddamn videos. You sounding real uninformed on this one, homie. But we can talk about it. Because I got time today. The game don't start till 9:30. What you want to talk about?
But hold on, Cess. Didn't the league just put out that they had increased these women's salary? They just put out a PR statement about, oh, look at them. They trying to be greedy. We done offered them $1 million. We done moved the cap up, blah, 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 bloom. So you know what she came back to let them know? I don't give a damn about no cap. I'm talking about these conditions. I'm talking about the way we're being treated. I'm talking about
accountability.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear about see, you're gonna try to put some stuff out so that when I come through, I sound like I'm trying to, skate you out your money. No, it ain't like that. She let them know, that, okay, you did that. That's not what we talking about here. We want all of the revenue sources, not the same 3. Well, we'll move the cap up from 3% to 5%. Hey. No, we want all the BRI that we earn.
All of it.
Nobody coming to see you.
But that's okay. Benzino, tell me about how much money. Tell me about how much money you willing to leave on the table. Tell me how much you bringing in 10 BRIs. You willing to leave Sam on the table and talk about it tomorrow? Yeah, nah. You can. It don't even have nothing to do about Conway. None of that. This real business talk. We ain't got to talk later. Talk. What you got to say?
Every move in chess, you don't wait till tomorrow to make your move in chess. You do your counter move.
Kill me with that. We could talk about it in a calm way. You talk. You ain't eat. All you gotta do is type. But you ain't informed enough on this one. I'm telling you off the top. Cause see, the thing about Napheesa is the one who didn't have to say shit. Napheesa don't need no Unrivaled money, and she don't need no WNBA money. Her man got money. She ain't need none of that. Napheesa don't even have to be in this fight. That's how you know this is some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't no stunt. And the reason I know it wasn't no stunt is because look at the players that came out and supported her when she said it.
Mm-hmm.
If them wasn't real ones, I don't know.
Them been the results of meetings where you getting snowed. And you just done had enough.
How people, exactly. And she said, yeah, we ain't talking about this behind closed doors no more. Napheesa didn't say nothing that was going to help Napheesa on her own anyway. So what did it benefit her to say it today? She spoke about the league in general.
Put the
this
cards
wasn't no PR stunt. This didn't help her. This didn't help her get a new get no more money. When people talk about business, timing is everything. Not informed at all. That's the problem with them. And that's the thing about business. It's always timing. It's always timing. It's always timing. Matter of fact, y'all watching that Beauty in Black? Y'all watching that Beauty in Black show? Yeah. Remember that man, Harold? He was talking to the girl, and the little fast mouth girl was in the meeting, and she was like, yeah, because y'all been ciphering off money in these companies since such. And the man put the people out, and he told her what? I been knew that, but I wasn't going to use it then. Why? Because it wasn't the time. The time to use it was later. But it's okay. I didn't know you was that bright. I didn't know you was going to catch it. But it's timing in business. See, it's about leverage. It's about negotiations. It's about when is the eyes looking? When is the sponsors watching? When is the ears most perked up? But I ain't got time to get no business lessons right now. We got hoops coming on tonight. Listen. This don't benefit fee. This can actually hurt. Yeah, hear me? She already gonna have to test some money off her bank account. She probably gonna have to 15,000 like the rest of them. Count them up. It didn't help her. It didn't help her at all.
I don't think she should be fined on Halloween.
Oh, internet been on fire. She gonna be fine. Somebody else should pay it for it.
She shouldn't be fined. That's political oppression. That's what I'm talking about. Political oppression.
Oh no, I get you, but they gonna fine her. Like Ike on the Ike. Fine her ass. They gonna fine her ass. Cathy thought Fee was a little dumb black woman who didn't have no stomp down in her. Listen. Napheesa smart. He's a husky. They started to go GoFundMe for Fee. See what I'm saying? You can't cancel. Here's the thing: you can't cancel her. She's an owner. She'll just go to her own league and play.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
That's the beauty of ownership, baby.
See, it's different when you free out here. Then you move like you free. You talk like you free. You ain't got to shut up and talk tomorrow. You talk when you want to. You know, I ain't even got time for every season that Minnesota Lynx lose. It's something. This thing got shit to do with this. This is a labor fight that we've been talking about affects the rest of the industries in this nation. I don't have no time for that conversation for real. So that's nothing to do with that at all. She didn't tie anything that she said today to the fucking laws. None of it. None of what we're talking about right now. Did she say this is why we didn't win the championship? She said this ain't about losing. This ain't about championships. This is about right. This is about paying people what they owe. This is about civil rights. And you're talking to me about some drama because they didn't win? Man, move on. I started this motherfucking statement with this is bigger than basketball. Let me back up to the beginning. See, this sometimes you got to go back to the beginning with folks. See, I said from the beginning, we're not just talking basketball. We're talking civil rights violations hiding in plain sight. And you're talking to me about She got up there and made this statement and is gonna pay this fine to the WNBA because Minnesota didn't win, and she's trying to kick up some drama for some excuses. They'd already baked the excuses in the other night. She hurt her leg and Cheryl got through out. She didn't need no new excuses. Man, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you like this: don't even bring it back up to me because you ain't gonna like my response. If you can't handle it right now on YouTube, you don't want to hear my response in the match. You might as well just get another topic with me. You wouldn't even feel me then. I'm uncensored in the mansion. You wouldn't even feel me then. you would think it was personal. So just we should just agree not to talk about this. Cause we not even in the same. We ain't what they say stratosphere. We ain't in the same atmosphere on that. So yes, we'll talk about something else. Lil, what you got before we get ready to get out of here?
Everybody, look, let's be clear. It isn't just a CBA fight. It's about dignity, respect, and the law. The league can't continue to build its brand on Black women while dismissing their pain and their worth. If the WNBA won't respect these women voluntarily, it's time for the courts to enforce that. Either way, the fight is here. And the players are standing on the front lines for all of us who know exploitation when we see it. Y'all got to get in there with us.
Man. Fam, it's a real fight. It's a real fight. Don't fall for the okie doke. Y'all hear me? I'm seeing. I didn't realize it's some people in my fam. I'm seeing now. It's some people in my fam that'll fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Listen, don't you be out here falling for the banana in the tailpipe shit now. I'm telling y'all. Don't be falling for the banana in the tailpipe because it ain't for y'all. Don't miss what the real focus of this is. Don't miss what the real focus of this is. Players stand on business. Y'all hashtag respect our game. This right here ain't about basketball. This civil rights. This is why the show is named Poly Sports Tea Time, so that y'all know it's not just basketball. It's political sport. Okay, never mind. We appreciate y'all pulling up. This is just the beginning of this conversation. I can't wait to see where this goes. We was gonna talk about something totally different. Yeah. Stand on business. Stand on business. Did he say anything wrong regardless of winning or losing? No. But she said it wasn't about winning or losing. She said, I've been waiting to talk. Did you see the way that woman unfolded that paper? Did that look like somebody that just had decided? She had been wrote that. Did you listen? See, Mondo, you old like me. Remember when you write on that paper so good and you done wrote that assignment so good that goddamn paper crinkle? Got that little crinkle sound to it because both sides of the paper crinkle real good. She was ready to talk. She wasn't playing. They signed an 11-year deal with the USA Network. You're right. 2 pages. 2 pages. This wasn't about, I'm just mad we lost and I'm going to say some stuff. That woman said, I was at Unrivaled and I sat across from Cathy. And I said this and Cathy said that. I said this and Cathy said that. She been taking notes a long time. She didn't start taking no notes when the buzzer went off and they lost.
Mm-hmm.
She been waiting to say this the whole season. She went back to, she had examples.
She came with her receipts.
Exactly. This wasn't I'm mad. I'll show them. That wasn't what this was about. You don't get to be the president. First of all, you don't get to be the president or the vice president of the WNBA if you move like that.
Politics, y'all. Politics, you got to get into it. Get in the game.
She didn't call out the leadership of the WNBA because Minnesota lost. There's a reason that Fee and Stewie started Unrivaled in the first place. Speaking of basketball, is to protect these young women's futures. And not only that,
the future.
Not only that, they were deliberate in who they invited to have equity in the league. They invited players who they felt like had paid dues, who have been overseas, who have a love and a respect for the game that and a standard that they meet for being pro ball players. Like this ain't no fly by night shit, man. That's wild. That's a wild ass take for me. That's a wild ass take. She can back up a bold statement like that. Oh yeah, she gonna back up a statement like that. You don't make a statement like that unless you can back it up. And Fee was the one that had to make the statement. Because she was the one that sat across from Cathy. Oh, they were very intentional about who were part of the initial investment.
Yep. People that are serious about moving this game forward.
But see, they've been letting Cathy play in our face for a minute. See, Cathy was the same one that was like, we're making money. The WNBA PA was like, what? You can't let racist shit go on, Cathy. That's because we making money.
That's what she said.
They've been checking this for a long time. They didn't just opt out all of a sudden. They knew. They prepared to opt out. They said, hey, we probably they're not going to do what we need them to do. We're going to opt out in 2025. Every one of y'all that can be on a 1-year deal when 2025 hit, be on a 1-year deal when 2025 hit. Well, I don't know at all. I don't know what the problem is, but I'll solve it. I can help y'all. I can help y'all solve it. Now, y'all better figure it out, because if I get in it, y'all probably gonna like how it go.
Yep. Yep. That's what a judge will tell you when you're in an EEOC fight. Don't let me have to settle this.
Cathy's response showed you Fee's receipts is 100. I ain't even seen Cathy's response. Let me pull it up while we sitting here. Before you get out of here, I addressed that too. Cathy Engelbert.
She had checked with her boys with the boys club before she responded.
Let's see what kind of prepared statement they came up with. Let me see what Cathy say.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, she says, I have the utmost respect. This is WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's statement at WNBA Communications. I have the utmost respect for Napheesa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players in the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations in league leadership. But even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. Receipts cashed.
She had no comeback. Where the clap back?
Receipts cashed. I didn't say that. It was misconstrued. Nothing.
Taken out of context. That's the famous one. Taken out of context. None of that.
Disheartened. Hey, listen. Let me tell you. Cathy,
disheartened. She exposed me.
Characterized our conversations. Words matter. Words matter. Here's the thing. I realized too that I ain't for everybody, and my background and my on-site type attitude make me react to stuff a lot different. I'm not no bite your tongue, hold my head down, tail between my leg. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Master type ass. I ain't me. They ain't me. When it's on my mind, I'ma say it. And I don't care who around. I'ma say it. If I feel like it need to come out my mouth, I'ma say it. I ain't gonna wait till another day. I'm not gonna hide. I ain't none of that. When it's time to say it, I'ma say it. So I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why you might have thought I was gonna do anything other than that. And they need to say it too. They're working in hostile work. This is a hostile work environment. How many days you gonna go to work in a hostile work environment? Please keep getting on Cathy. Right. I'm gonna say it.
Calling out these injustices. Gotta call them
That's
out.
the problem. That's the problem. People keep not saying it. People keep being like, we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. I tell you, man. Listen. If I know one thing about me, civil rights movement, dead buried me. So me, out of there. They got me quick. My mouth too bad.
You'd have been on the front line.
What?
The first one.
What? What happened to Cess over there or over there with a side of secure somewhere? You hear me? Yeah, no, I'm not. I ain't going. Who said? Why? I asked too many questions. For what? Who said? Who are you? Y'all know how y'all met me. Who are you? Why? Yeah, I mean, who you gonna cuss out for what? I need to understand what the cussing out is going for. Is on for. I might want to get into cussing out. So let me understand what all the cussing out, what all the cussing out threats is about. Boy, yeah, Barry. Boy, hey man. Woo wee, woo wee. Listen, I done told y'all this ain't the we shall overcome era. These young people ain't for it.
Yep.
They don't need your money, your league, no none of it. But this community here is about the conversation. It's about the conversation. The conversations have to come with receipts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Quit pissing on people and telling them, oh, that's just a little rain.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes people backgrounds and their introduction to stuff is different. So it's all good. But I say this, meet me in the mansion. We gonna get right. We gonna get right to it. If you know, you know. Pull up. We gonna get right to we gonna get right to it. But with that, y'all, we gotta get ready to get out of here. We got basketball coming on in a couple hours. But listen, if you felt today's tea, and we're gonna continue this conversation as the updates come, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Keep building with us. Every Tuesday to Thursday, man, y'all pull up for Poly Sports Tea Time. We got a special one tomorrow. We're gonna do the makeup. We are talking Angel's partnership with Together. Actually, we're talking Together this week. I think we have Angel, and then do we have another Together?
Yeah, we're gonna do a special on Simone, the other
Simone Manuel, the other Together,
Olympic
Black
Olympian.
Olympic ownership on that has partnered with Together. So, yeah, but yeah, pull up for those of y'all that's really having a problem. Cause see, I don't do this on my platform, and so I know some of y'all notice, and then some of y'all don't. But all of y'all that can get in the living room, pull up in the living room so we can get to the bottom of this. Cause I ain't gonna do this again. I ain't gonna do it again. So pull up, and we gonna get to the bottom of it. Cause I think some people got some stuff misconstrued. There's been a whole lot of superstars in this here stage tonight. I want y'all to know what this Miles, this CessTalksSports. So pull up, so we can get it all. We can get everything. We can get everything handled. Cause I got wrenches and things that do the security around here, and I didn't see no personal attack. So pull up. I'm sorry that I had to spend that time dealing with that with the rest of the families here. But y'all remember, the political fights are the ones that matter. Sports are never just about the games we play. Yeah, Ron's house. Whose house? Say what? Ron's house. They're about the story. They're about the stories we tell and the sisters we expose, y'all. Y'all know what it is. This is Session. Favorite on TV, Tendencies of Political Lil. Y'all stay tuned. Talk soon. And we out.